guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sophia. I'm a first year at the University of Virginia and I post a lot about my life, staying healthy, do a lot of vlogs, stuff about college, and it's a fun time here, so you should definitely subscribe if you aren't already. I am actually in Northern Virginia right now because I am getting my vaccine in Northern Virginia today. I'm so excited. And it's also Easter weekend, so it was just like a nice time to come home. That's why I'm in my car. I usually don't have my car at school as a first year. I'm actually filming on my mom's camera right now. I don't know if the video quality looks any different. I didn't bring my camera home. My camera's still in my dorm right now because I wasn't planning on filming, but I have a lot of free time today, so I was like, might as well film a little video and get one up since it's been almost a month since I've uploaded. But I'm so excited to be filming this video today because I am going to be answering every single question that I've ever gotten about UVA, basically. I'll be answering questions about classes, student life, parties, hookup culture, literally every single question that I've ever gotten asked about UVA. I'm gonna be answering in this video. I knew this would be a good video to upload now because I'm pretty sure everyone has heard back from UVA. So I'm sure people are trying to figure out if they want to go to UVA. I'm sure people who are going to UVA next year want a little bit more information just to like prepare. I remember this time last year, I was watching a bunch of videos from a bunch of different people who went to a bunch of different schools because I feel like listening to the students just be honest about their experiences is probably one of the best ways for you to choose your school. So yeah, I'm gonna be completely transparent in this video because I really appreciated when people were transparent with me when they were talking about their schools when I was deciding where to go last year. This is really gonna be a tell-all about the University of Virginia. I posted on my Instagram story like a month ago. It was a while ago. I just asked you guys to ask me any questions you had about UVA, so those are the questions I'm going to be answering today. I actually had a lot of them, which I was really happy about. Follow me on Instagram if you aren't already. Okay, my first question is, what types of people go to UVA? Are they all the typical preppy type? So, if you aren't aware, UVA has a stereotype of having a lot of preppy students. And I would definitely say that that stereotype is true to an extent. I've definitely met a lot of people who dress preppy, have that like preppy background to them, if that makes sense. Their family's preppy, I don't know. But then I've also met so many other types of people. I've met people that are super artsy. I've met people who love to go outdoors and are super like earthy and love yoga and hiking. I've met people who like to skateboard. Like, I've met so many different types of people. It hasn't just been like that one group. There is truly so many different types of people that go there. How did you find your roommate? Would you recommend choosing a roommate or going random? I would definitely recommend choosing your roommate. The decision is going to be different for each person. Like, some people really want to go random and they have complete faith that like whoever they end up with, it'll be fine. But I will say, in complete honesty, every single person I've talked to who has gone random probably would not recommend going random. I knew for me personally, I wanted to have a say in who I was gonna be living with for a year, especially first year when you're in a dorm and it's like a small space and you're with that person a lot. Knowing a little bit about them before you commit to something like that is a little bit important, or at least it was important for me. I met my roommate Morgan. Shout out to you if you're watching this, I love you. I met my roommate Morgan through Instagram, but we had a mutual friend that I went to high school with and she went to a summer program with. They went to Girls State together, and so she DM'd me on Instagram because I had posted on like the UVA 2024 Instagram page, and she was like, hey, I saw you're from Northern Virginia and you go to such and such high school. Do you know Bailey Johnson, which is our mutual friend? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And so then we just started talking a lot, talking about like what we like to do, our personality traits, I don't know, just like small talk, I guess. And then we got on a FaceTime call with Bailey, I think like a couple days after we started talking, or it honestly might have been the day of. But I remember like the time between her reaching out to me and us choosing to be roommates was like a very small period of time. And so like after we got off the FaceTime call with Bailey and we had talked with each other actually like face to face, even though it was just on FaceTime, I knew she was awesome. Bailey had nothing but great things to say about her. She was so sweet when we were on FaceTime. I was like, do you want to just be roommates? Like, I think we would really get along well. And she was like, yes. So it was super easy for us. So most people find the roommate that way through posting on either the Instagram page or the Facebook group for admitted students. And then you can like scroll through all the different posts that people put and reach out to people, or people will reach out to you. Those groups are great for not only finding a roommate, but just making friends before you get to school. Don't be scared to ask people if they're still looking for a roommate. If you really like a person, like ask if they want to be roommates. Like it's not like a weird thing. Everyone has to go through that like kind of awkward process of finding a roommate. How did you make friends as a first year? So I was terrified of making friends, especially because of like the circumstances of my first year being during the pandemic. I was really afraid that everyone was just going to be completely closed off, did not want to talk to people. It was going to be so hard to make friends, but it actually was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. Most of the people I met right off the bat were from my dorm building. The first night I was there, my RA had a meeting with everyone from my hall, so I met all the girls in my hall and they were super awesome. We like got dinner together and then we hung out a lot those first few weeks. And I met other people through my building just by like honestly walking around the building. If you run into people, you just say hi and you like start talking. Like when I would go to the water fountain and I would bump into people, I would say hi to them. If I was going to the bathroom, like washing my hands, I saw people from my building, I would say hi to them. Like I would say really take advantage of that first month of school, because that's the time that everyone is wanting to meet people. If you see someone sitting alone in the dining hall, go sit next to them. If you walk by a person in your building and you haven't met them yet, say hi to them. Literally like any circumstance where you bump into a person or you're walking by them, just say hi. Like it's your first month of college. People are wanting to make friends. Everyone is lost. Everyone doesn't know what they're doing and wants to meet more people. The first few weeks of school, people would just go to the lawn by the rotunda and just start like talking with each other. Like random groups of people that had never met each other before would just go up and start talking to each other. It was just so obvious that like everyone wanted to make friends and meet people, so it wasn't a weird thing to like go up to a random person and start talking to them. So don't be afraid to do that. Also, joining clubs is like a great way to meet people. If you aren't really like comfortable going out of your way, walking by people and saying hi to them, joining clubs is a great way to meet people, because then you can have like meetings and reach out to the people that way, and you have like a common shared interest. What is the difference between old and new dorms? So let me give like a very basic explanation of how dorms work for first years. So there's 3 main dorm locations. There's old dorms, new dorms, and then Gooch Dillard. I live in old dorms, which I think are the best. They have the best location. They're really close to the dining halls and class buildings and the lawn, but they're all recently renovated. So you have updated bathrooms, you have updated furniture, you have AC. They used to not have ACs. Everyone who lives in old dorms now really lucked out. They also have a really nice quad area, and they have little grills that people can use. And then there is new dorms, and new dorms were built most recently, obviously. Those are really nice as well. They have really nice views of the mountains because they're taller. New dorms also have really nice common rooms that are really big and have nice big windows. New dorms definitely have better common rooms than old dorms. Old dorms common rooms are like underground, so it kind of feels like you're in a basement, which I don't really like that much. I don't spend that much time in the common rooms of my building, but I do like spending time in the common rooms of new dorms. I do a lot of like yoga Pilates classes with my friends in their common rooms, and they're just a lot nicer. I would say that new dorms have kind of like a hotel feel to them. Everything just seems like a lot clean and fresh and new because they were built most recently. Those buildings are located by O Hill, which is the dining hall, so they have like a good location still, but not as good as old dorms. And then there's Gooch Dillard, and historically no one wanted to live in Gooch Dillard because of just how far away it is from everything. Pretty sure one of my friends who lived in Gooch Dillard this year said that it takes him like 30 minutes to walk from Gooch Dillard to the corner where like all the restaurants and bars are. So that's a little excessive. There is a bus system that's free that you can use on UVA's campus, so I think a lot of people who live in Gooch Dillard use that a lot. But this year, everyone I've talked to who's lived in Gooch Dillard said that they didn't mind it because our classes were online, so it wasn't like they had to walk a long time to get to class. And also, Gooch Dillard is structured differently than old and new dorms. Old and new dorms, it's 2 roommates to 1 room, and then it's hall style, so you share a bathroom with your whole hall. But then for Gooch Dillard, it's suite style, so you have like 2 rooms, 2 roommates in each room, and then you have like a little common area, which is really nice, and then you share your bathroom with your suite mates. So it's overall just like you have more space. It's more of like a homey vibe to it. Definitely like a great place to just hang out with your friends is in Guttstillerd. And Guttstillerd is also really close to Runk, which is by far the best dining hall. They just have like more fresh food, I would say. They also have like a lot healthier options. They have smoothies there. They had like chia pudding one time that I had was really good. I don't go there that often because it is like a 15-minute walk from my dorm, but whenever I go, it's amazing. And the room selection process is completely random, so you don't have any say over where you're put, but I will say that like no matter what dorm you're put in, you'll be fine. Like each dorm has its pros and its cons. What is the dating culture like at UVA? Is it mostly hookup culture or do people actually want relationships? Okay, so I would say that at a majority of colleges nowadays, not every college, but like majority of colleges, hookup culture is very common or popular. It's just kind of like the norm because I think a majority of people, again, not everyone, but a majority of people who go to college nowadays, for them it's just kind of like their time to be free and do what they want, meet a bunch of people, not have to feel like tied down or like they're seriously committed to anything. So I think that's why hookup culture is just like the common thing nowadays, because you don't have to commit to a certain person. So I would definitely say that hookup culture is popular on UVA's campus, or it's like a thing on UVA's campus, but that doesn't mean that that's what every single person at UVA values. I've met so many people in relationships or people who have been looking for a relationship, didn't really like hookup culture. I myself was in a relationship this past semester. Not everyone at UVA is just looking to hook up with someone, so if that's not what you're looking for, you'll be able to find people who are similar. But I would say that casual stuff is kind of the norm, so you have to be a little cautious of like who you invest your energy into. I think like if you're looking for a relationship in college, it's important to like check with the other person that they are looking for a similar thing to you. Just like my piece of advice, I guess, based on my experience, if you are someone who isn't looking to hook up with people and you want a relationship, don't go into college with like the expectation that you're gonna find a relationship. I know like so many people go into college being like, I'm gonna find my husband, or I'm gonna find my wife, I'm gonna find like my person. But college isn't about like finding someone else, it's about finding yourself. I'm making this like so deep and emotional, and it's not what the question was asking at all. I just wanted to say like, make sure that you're focusing on yourself in college and you're making the experience about yourself, not about like finding another person. That aspect of college is not what's gonna be like making or breaking your college experience at all. My next question is, what is the party scene like at UVA? Is there a lot of things to do when you go out? Okay, so UVA is definitely a work hard, play hard school. It's one of the reasons why I love it. People there are very committed to their schoolwork. They're very motivated, very driven, but at the same time, they know how to have fun and let loose for sure. In terms of like what people do when they go out, UVA has the corner. It's basically like our mini town, which is just right off the campus, right by the lawn, and it has like a lot of bars there that people go to on the weekend. And then we also have the fraternity houses, and then there's like apartment things that go on. So I'd say that it's like a good mix of things to do. When things are normal and the pandemic isn't happening, there's a lot of like tailgate stuff to do. I didn't get to experience that this year because of COVID, so I'm really looking forward to just like going to the sporting events. I've heard nothing but good things about them. I would definitely say that UVA is not a dry campus. There is a lot of things to do. People definitely know how to party there. One thing about frat parties that is different at UVA than other schools is that in order to get into a frat house, you have to know someone, usually. But most of the time, you need to know someone, and I know that's different than a lot of schools. I've heard some of my friends from other schools can just like walk into a frat house and like no one questions who they are. But at UVA, it's a little bit different. In order to get to a frat party, you have to like know someone there, be let in. Like sometimes they have like bouncers that like ask for your name. So that's a little different, I guess, but there is definitely a lot of things to do. Like if you don't have a connection to a frat house, you can go to the bars. Don't be afraid about like not having things to do when you go out at UVA. There's definitely a lot of things to do. What are the professors like at UVA? I love my professors. Even though all of my classes were online this past year, except for one class that was in person, all of my professors just made it like really clear to me that they were there to help me. They were always encouraging us to go to office hours. They were always telling us, if you ever need any help, reach out to me. You can just tell that professors at UVA really care and they really want to help you, which is nice because UVA academically is a hard school and classes can be pretty rigorous sometimes, but the fact that professors are so helpful, and not just professors, like teacher assistants for all of my classes have been so nice. They always have been like so open to giving me extra help if I needed it. Definitely take advantage of office hours and reach out to your professors if you're a first year. Not only is that going to help you just understand the material more and do better in your classes, but you're going to be able to form connections with your professors, which will be helpful down the line, and you want to look for research opportunities or need some letters of recommendation. I feel like that's something I definitely could have been better at this past year. But yeah, the professors at UVA are really great. I really love them all. I haven't had a bad experience so far. Is UVA diverse? This is one thing that I really wish was different about UVA. I know they are trying to kind of correct the mistakes of the past, which I do appreciate. I'm pretty sure the class of 2025, half of the admitted students were people of color, which I think is great. I think it's kind of long overdue, but I think it's great. But you can definitely tell that this school is majority white still. And not only is it not racially diverse, socioeconomically, I feel like it's not diverse enough. I heard a statistic the other day, I don't know the exact percentage, but like the percentage of students who go to UVA that come from poverty is like very low. It was like very alarming to me how few students from poverty go to UVA. But I would say that there's definitely like a collective desire to change that. If you are a person of color and you got admitted to UVA, don't let its history of not being diverse sway you from coming here, because you can definitely tell not only through the students but the professors, the staff, the admissions office that they're trying to be better about being more diverse. But I would say no, currently the school is not diverse enough and they have a long way to go. How can you get involved on grounds? So there's an activities fair in the fall that I would recommend that everyone go to and just like see what types of clubs there are at UVA, because there's so many different clubs. I know they say that about like every college, we have so many different clubs, but like it really is true. Again, it's like a great way to make friends is to just join a club of like something you're interested in. It doesn't even have to be like a fancy club, like just join a club that seems fun. They have like a lot of intramural sports as well. That's a great way to make friends and just like have fun with people. So you can like sign up for clubs at the activities fair, but then if you decide that you want to join a club later in the year, you can usually just like email the club and they'll usually be fine with you being let in, unless there's like a formal application process for the club. Like I'm on student council and I had to formally apply at the beginning of the semester, so that's like a little bit different. But other clubs that are pretty informal, you can just join whenever. How is first year advising? I'm gonna be completely honest here, they don't really do that good of a job at helping you choose your classes for your first fall semester. At least they didn't for me. I felt lost. I basically had to choose my classes on my own. I had a meeting with an advisor that gave me some input and that was helpful, but other than that, it was kind of just up to me to choose my classes. Once you get to school and start your fall semester and you choose your classes for the spring semester, you meet with an advisor and that's when you can get like a lot more input. But going into the first semester, I really just chose my classes. I think that mostly was because I'm in the College of Arts and Sciences though. I know like my friends in the engineering school had their classes basically all planned out for them because they're on a very specific track. But for me, being in the College of Arts and Sciences, it was kind of just up to me to choose classes I wanted. I guess some tips for choosing classes, definitely look at your general education requirements. That's the thing that's a little bit different about UVA. You get to choose your general education pathway. I'm on the Disciplines Plus pathway, and I would really recommend that. I think it's just like the easiest one to fulfill all the requirements for. I'll put a link down below of like explaining the different education pathways for general education, but I think the Disciplines Plus is definitely like the easiest one to complete. So I looked at the requirements for that pathway and I took that in consideration when I was choosing my classes, but then I mostly was just choosing classes that I was interested in because I didn't know what I was going to major in yet. I wanted to study a bunch of different topics that interested me and see which ones I liked best so that I could choose a major, but yeah, I would say that like it's mostly going to be up to you when you're choosing your classes for the first semester, at least if you're in the College of Arts and Sciences. What are some things that people like to do off grounds on the weekends? So Charlottesville has amazing hiking trails near it, and a lot of people like to go hiking. There's also the downtown mall, which has like a bunch of stuff to do there. There's little shops you can go to, like restaurants. I think there's like little art galleries as well, just like super cute stuff down there to do. There's also a lot of nice wineries near Charlottesville that people like to go to on the weekends. All of those places, you can't really walk there, so you're either gonna have to like find an upperclassman to drive you or take the bus, but the bus is free, as I said before, and I've heard that it's easy to navigate. I've never had to navigate it myself. Sorry if the angle keeps changing. This camera keeps dying randomly. It's saying that it's overheating, so I have to keep like turning it on, turning it off, waiting for it to cool down. Anyways, what is the food like at UVA? Okay, so I'm definitely guilty of talking shit about the food at UVA, and I feel like I have good reason. Like, quick synopsis of how the meal plan works for first years. There's 3 dining halls where it's buffet style, so you go in, swipe your card, you can choose whatever you want to eat, all you can eat, can keep going back for more. And then there's like restaurants that you can do either meal swipes or flex dollars through. Meal swipes you can do 2 to 3 times a day, and then flex dollars you can choose how many flex dollars you want for the semester. I just did the basic one, which was $150. This year you had to order everything through Grubhub. I don't know if that's how it's always worked, but I'll just show you. You just go on the app and you can order everything. These are all the different options. So yeah, you can get food from all of those restaurants, and most of that stuff is pretty good. I would definitely recommend Juice Laundry. It's super expensive though, you have to be careful about that. I spent all my flex dollars at Juice Laundry. Einstein Brother Bagels for the morning, like breakfast time, is always super good. The Castle is good for like lunch and dinner. Burrito Theory burritos are good for dinner too. Those are like my favorites, I would say. And then Starbucks, of course. Ew, that was so annoying. Of course, Starbucks. And then the meals in the dining hall change every day. It kind of follows the same pattern weekly. I would definitely say that Runk is the best dining hall, but if you don't live in Gooch Dillard, you're gonna have to walk there for a bit. Newcomb has really good breakfast food, and then O-Hill has really good lunch and dinner food. It's not terrible, like it's definitely not terrible, but it's not fine dining. What days of the week do people go out? So again, UVA is a work hard, play hard culture, so you'll find people going out every single day. I would say the most popular days are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Tuesday too. My personal favorite day to go out is Thursday because the 4 days before that, I have been getting 8 hours of sleep, I've been getting a bunch of work done. I'm just like ready to treat myself, I'm fully energized, I am just like ready to rally. So Thursday is always so fun. Saturday is my least favorite day to go out because by then I'm usually super tired, and there's usually darties on Saturday, so it's like an all-day thing and you're usually just like exhausted. But yeah, people go out every single day, but those are definitely like the most popular. Would you recommend joining a sorority? So it really just depends on the person. I love my sorority. I love every single person in it. I think it was like honestly one of the best decisions for me to join a sorority because I got to meet so many people. UVA isn't a huge school, but it is like 16,000 undergraduate students, so it's nice to feel like you're part of a smaller community inside of the larger community that is UVA. So for me, I personally loved it, and if you're looking for similar things like that, I would recommend joining a sorority. You can always rush and go through the process and see if you want to join any of them. I had a lot of friends who went through Rush and just didn't end up joining because it like wasn't really for them. So like I have nothing but good things to say about joining a sorority, but it's not for everyone. I know a lot of people who just like didn't want to join because it wasn't really their thing. I will say that like a majority of sororities at UVA aren't that strict. It's not like you have to be like following all these crazy rules and all that stuff. Like so far at least, it has just been a nice opportunity to connect with people, be a part of a community. So yeah, I would recommend joining a sorority, but again, like if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. And there's definitely a lot of people who aren't a part of a group like that. I think this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched it all the way through, be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel for some more UVA videos. I'm hoping to get a few more vlogs up before the semester ends. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon.